to Tharp and 30, the pop culture podcast where we discuss everything from Empire Records to Empire Strikes Back in a tight 30 minutes. My dear friend Katie Ryan is on the podcast today. I'm so lucky to have her. I know she's a busy lady, a busy mom, a busy working person, and it's a pretty good gig.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for allowing me to reschedule this 3 times
No
so
worries.
that it could happen. I was very excited for the topic, and I can't wait to destroy you in not only knowledge, but celebrity gossip.
I love celebrity gossip. You know how we do over here in Tharp and 30. We're talking about Empire Records today, and I kind of thought a lot about... I classically don't like this movie, blah, blah, blah. That's why we chose to do it. You don't like it either.
That is correct.
And then I started to feel bad, like, oh, is this... It's low-hanging fruit. Am I going to trash someone? And, oh, this is such fucking bullshit. It's pretentious bullshit, you know, and then people get upset or whatever. Because people love this movie. It is a, like, cult classic, especially from... We're 40 years old. It came out in 95.
Yes.
People are all over this record, or this movie. And God, I hate it.
Oh, yeah. Just check out the online reviews, the articles. I mean, they use the term cult classic all over the place. Kids are dressing up as those characters for Halloween. It's mind-boggling.
Wow. I never liked it. So I really tried to walk it back and be like, okay, let's look at this through like a decent eye, and I'm not just gonna trash this movie for, be like, and then I watched it yesterday.
Yes.
And I was like, no, that's...
Did you have to pay to watch it?
I did.
Yes. That's how good this movie is that you can't even stream it for free. You can stream all the other cult classics. Yeah.
On Apple TV.
Oh no, I went even a step further. I signed up for the Starz 7-day subscription and then set a calendar reminder to go back and cancel it, so I didn't even have to pay to watch it.
It's
By the way, call me next week, remind me to cancel that.
Oh, you should get even though that's not one of our sponsors, but isn't that a thing now? You have like an app on your phone that like cancels all your shit for you?
There's several actually.
Well,
they remind you what you're paying for, what you're not using. Yeah.
Shout out to future sponsor, That Thing.
That Thing. Go ahead and give us drop us a note on our email. It is tharp and30@yourmama.com.
Yourmama.com.
Hey, so we're going to talk about just like the stats of the movie, right? Like Empire Records.
Sure. We can do that now if you want to.
Yeah, let's lay the scene. So we're talking about Empire Records, the movie, released in 1995. It is the story of 24 hours in the life.
I was going to ask if you wanted to do a synopsis.
Yeah. Oh, I've got it.
Like a rundown.
Here we go. 24 hours in the lives of the young employees of Empire Records. They all grow up and become young adults thanks to the manager, Joe. But there is a problem when Lucas runs to Atlantic City with the petty cash.
Fucking Lucas.
And they got to save the day. And they're a motley crew. They don't like each other, but they're going to be best friends.
I think that's the best synopsis, though, because like everything else is off the fucking rails.
Well, the
like
pumpkin beer helps
nothing else makes sense in this movie. Mm-hmm. The third act is a bloody mess, and upon further research, it's like there's other characters that are cut out. It's a pretty tight, I don't know, 80 minutes, I want to say, 85 minutes.
Yeah.
You can tell there's so much missing stuff in this movie. It's so convoluted. I don't know what's going on. It's so many times. We'll discuss that.
Oh, I have notes for days on that. I watched it twice, and I kept asking the same questions. Wait, how did that happen? But wait, let's take it back. So this came out in 95. It flopped in the theater. Barely made $225,000. There was no marketing.
I have different notes.
There was no promo.
That's not true. It made $310,000.
Semantics.
But sure, yeah. It against a $10 million budget, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. But then it came around later. I didn't really read too far into what happened, but then later on it got picked up, and then suddenly everybody was just raving about it, and it became the quote unquote cult classic.
I remember it. I remember the trailer. I remember people renting it a lot. I remember it's very much a Gen X text, but this is aimed right at me. This is aimed right at you. I love pop culture. I love rock and roll, so like everyone loves, I don't know, Liv Tyler in a crop top. There's so many crop tops in this. That's what we call that, right? The crop top.
Correct. You don't need to actually touch your breasticles there. We all know what a crop top is.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to make sure crop tops and short skirts, for the ladies in this movie, and I don't even know where to start.
Can I get a clarification?
Sure.
When you said you rented this, does that mean you went down to your local Blockbuster and took home a VHS?
No, I didn't even see this movie until probably 10 years ago.
What?
I'd never seen it until 10 years ago.
God.
Because everyone's just like, just the trailer. When I'm a kid, I'm like, I bet this movie's bullshit.
Dude, 20 years ago, I had girls calling me or texting me saying, #Rex Manning Day. Happy Rex Manning Day.
No, of course. The fucking Rex Manning Day. Oh, I want the audience to note that Katie is wearing a Rex Manning t-shirt right now.
I am.
But it's, I don't know, like, here's how I knew this movie was bullshit. When it came out.
10 years ago.
No. 25 years ago when it came out. In 1995, when I was 13 or 12 or 13 or whatever, when I was just waiting to just soak up pop culture, Gen X culture. We're not members of that.
Junior high, best years of your life.
Yeah, sure. And I was, we're not members of that generation. We're very on the cusp. There's a big argument out there about why are we, on that, whatever.
We are on the cusp, millennial to
should be
Generation
a
X.
special little weird, whatever. I'm not gonna. That's for my different podcast. It's called Millennial or Not ? Smiley face.
Ironically, I'm not available that day, but go ahead.
I know you're not. It's hard enough to get you here the first time. But so it. Just looking at the soundtrack when I was a kid at the music store, I'm like, this movie's gonna suck. This is terrible. It's like, it is the most benign 90s music.
Hey, they played AC/DC. Why are you hating?
Which is not. It's the most. It's hard to explain. Like, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Dishwalla. Shit like that. It's Gin Blossoms actually charted off the single off this, but I mean, like, it's the least edgy anything, and like everyone's like a record store whiny person, and it's like there's nothing on this soundtrack, not one song that I would stand behind. I'm just saying. Like,
hey, they play the Cranberries.
I love the Cranberries.
Yes.
It's not on the soundtrack. It's in the movie.
Clarification. When you said that you were looking at the soundtrack after the movie came out, were you at the Sam Goody at the mall with the headphones on, checking it out?
No, I was at Suncoast at the mall.
Ooh, name drop.
The cooler place. The cooler one.
I thought you were going to say the Barnes & Noble basement.
No, I never got that. I always felt like someone was trying to listen to jazz down there and just like be like, don't leave me, leave me alone, man. Don't bother me here.
Come on.
Okay, so there's so many other side notes, subplots to this movie besides the fact that Lucas has stolen the money essentially and gambled it away.
Correct. So Lucas has his first shift of closing the store.
Hold on. We have who directed this film?
Did not write that down. That was your
Alan
job.
Boyle.
Okay.
Also famous for another pretty famous music movie, Pump Up the Volume.
I love that movie.
Me too. I don't like all the Happy Time Harry jacking off stuff.
No, that was very 80s, and it can stay that way.
but a great soundtrack.
Yeah,
great soundtrack.
The version of Wave of Mutilation has been on my Spotify playlist for years.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Shout out to the future guest, the Pixies. Or Pixies. Probably not Kim Deal, though. She doesn't like them anymore.
That's sad.
So before we even get into the actors, I have to say there's twice in the opening montage that there's neon signs that say vinyls.
Yes.
With an S.
Yes.
It's not how it is, people. I don't.
Yes.
For all you millennial listeners out there and younger and the Zoomers out there who are huge fans of this podcast, it's just vinyl. God damn it! That was twice in the opening montage.
Party foul number 1
and number 2. But anyway, you want to go over the cast here before we just get into the plot?
Okay. Well, we have our main characters. Joe is played by Anthony LaPaglia. And
I'd say LaPaglia.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher this. Don't worry.
He's an Aussie.
Just go with it.
He's an Aussie.
Google these names later, kids.
His Australian accent comes out several times.
He's Australian?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I didn't look him up. He was kind of the boring one. I was going for the other characters.
He'll be like, "Come on, Lucas." Come on, Lucas.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Anyway, go
All
ahead.
right. Next we have Rex Manning, is played by Maxwell Caulfield. Jane. Love Jane.
Hold on a second.
We're going to stop for everyone?
No.
Oh my God.
Of course we are.
Tight 30, John.
That's why I'm saying we have to speed up. The Rex Manning's played by whom?
Maxwell Caulfield.
It is a murderer's row of B movies for this guy. So this is probably his most famous gig.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it is like I said, a murderer's row of B movies, and just and I'm not. Hey, the guy's got to eat,
Sure.
I'm not knocking anybody for.
He's listed as the 3rd top actor on the IMDb,
which is bonkers.
Although, if you look at what he's known for, Empire Records is number 3. Number 1 is Grease 2.
Oh yeah, I was about to say this.
Hello.
I forgot about that. It's even in my notes.
Michelle Pfeiffer. How could you forget?
We love future guest Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mommy.
So, I do love the actor Rory Cochrane.
Okay.
But I hate this character so much, Lucas. He's so thirsty. Speaking of thirsty, oh snap!
There goes my soda.
Soda. In my notes, I have Rory Cochrane, Lucas, thirsty.
Okay, so are we actually going to talk about him, like his background?
Well, we can.
Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Did you know that he was Slater on Dazed and Confused?
100%.
I didn't even know that till I watched this last week. I'm so lost on this character.
Dude. He's great as Slater.
Yes.
He's terrible as Lucas.
I don't know what he's
are you
cool, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Oh, a little weed, There may be a beer bus later on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Guess we'll see you around.
All right, check you later.
Bye.
Wait, man, why are you always such a dork, man? What are you talking about? Check you later. Hey, man, get off my case. Oh, man.
I don't know
Classic.
what he's trying to do as Lucas, even. I'm just saying this movie's very unfocused.
What's with the part-time narrating? He looks at the screen 3 times throughout the movie, but not the rest of the movie. So it's
you can't break the fourth wall.
It's
and
confusing.
Then break it back, and then you don't do
yes.
Because this movie is so fucking unfocused.
Oh my God! I wrote down my least favorite quotes for the movie. He is 70% of them.
I do also love the actor Ethan Embry, but I hate this character. Yeah,
but
sure,
do
dude.
you?
Dude, I really did like Can't Hardly Wait. That's a classic '90s movie that he's good in.
We can't
It's
even.
a high school
Don't
movie.
even get me. If we're gonna do a part 2, I will
Weirdly
destroy
enough-
Can't Hardly Wait.
Okay, fine.
I will take you down on that one.
I'm not trying to argue for its great fucking artistic content.
I get
but
that.
I like him in it.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying. I believe him in it. I do not believe him as Mark whatsoever. I hate the '90s trope of kid eats weed, kid smokes weed and sees visions. He's in the Guar video. It's so fucking stupid.
He is typecasted as the nice guy, and he's in. He does get the girl and Can't Hardly Wait. But what was he even going for in this movie? What was his?
That's what I'm
mission?
saying. I don't know.
At one point, he talked about to be in a band or to have his own band, and then he named it after himself. And I was like, this is a big letdown.
Yeah. AJ, played by Johnny Whitworth. I think his most famous thing is probably Limitless. He's in Limitless, 2011's Limitless, starring the lovely
did not
Bradley
see that.
Cooper. It's really good. I would say it's really good.
Unfortunately,
It's doable.
that is the year that my husband decided we were going to be mated for life, and then
So you were busy.
and then no, I just stopped caring about everything else. And
Also, shout out to past guest Grant Wayner.
Grant Wayner, what's up, buddy?
Your lovely husband.
He gave me terrible advice about this podcast, by the way. I threw all of it out the window on the right over
Yeah,
here
I would.
in my minivan.
His episode's terrible, by the way. I'm joking. I love.
You gave him.
love
You
buddy.
gave him one of my top 3 favorite movies. I'm not holding a judgment or anything.
It is what it is. Deb, played by Robin Turney. We at this point we probably only know, at this point in 1995 we only know her from Encino Man.
Correct.
She has like 2 lines in
Yes.
it. And then subsequently we know her from the same year from The Craft.
Yeah, she rocks it.
In The Craft, she rocks it.
I thought she did okay in this movie. Dude, the whole
No.
the whole head shaving thing
she's
was her
fine.
idea, supposedly.
No, I know, and but also, and then she had to wear a wig in The Craft. That's a true story.
Well, it looked good on her.
Hey man, whatever works.
Hashtag pulling it off.
Whatever works. This is Gina, played by Renee Zellweger, is the biggest bonkers version of this to me.
Oh my god, I have so much to say about this.
Because it's like this movie is not only a box office bomb, but everyone is very bad at it. And then the next year, she's in Jerry fucking Maguire.
Yeah.
And she's throwing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And she's great in it.
Did you know that she was currently in a relationship with Rory Cochrane at that time?
I did not know that.
She was. They were a couple while they were filming this movie, and that's what landed her the short role on Dazed and Confused. She had a cameo in that.
Hold on a second. That can't be true because that is before this movie.
Well, then she did a cameo on Dazed and Confused
There
while
you
she
go.
was still dating Rory.
That's probably what has to be
John, the
happening
fact
here.
man over
Okay.
here. He's got
Hey,
all the dates
man,
memorized.
Hey man, we just
We don't have to do this now, but at
don't
some
at
point,
me, bros. The Tharpies out there are gonna get really sick of this, because they love me. And then obviously the star of the main character of the movie, we could agree, is Liv Tyler. Yes,
yes.
I
I will agree with that. I think she does a phenomenal job. She was only
with what she has to do with.
She was only 15 at the time. She had to have somebody on set monitor and chaperone her
That can't be
24/7. Absolutely true. I
that
promise
can't be
you.
true.
Factual.
There's no way that she's 15 in 1995.
That's what she had a chaperone with her. Yeah.
No way, dude. Look it up right now. There's no way that she's 15 in 1995.
Oh my gosh. You guys remember when we used to just hang out and talk and nobody would have to Google things all the
Hey,
time?
I don't want the Tharpies adding me. See?
Because it was filmed in 1993. So at the time, she was 15 when it was filmed. But in 1995, you're correct. She was not 15. She was at the time of filming, and she had a chaperone with her.
I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but like she has obviously a bizarre upbringing. Doesn't realize Steven Tyler is her dad until many years into her life.
You want to know what else I found out?
Please tell me.
She was with Joaquin Phoenix from 95 to 98.
I did know that.
I did not know that. Mr. Joker himself.
The Joker. Speaking of thirsty.
Everybody get ready for part 3 of the John Katie podcast, Joker. Where I will be watching it right before the podcast because I have never seen it.
By the way, the Joker podcast
Hot take.
has nothing to do with Joaquin Phoenix. It's just a Steve Miller Band podcast.
Also one of my least favorite rock songs
The
of all time.
Joker.
I cannot wait.
And last but not least, Brendan Sexton as fucking Warren. God damn it.
Where do we start with this one? Do we even have to discuss it? I mean, the world should agree.
Dude, the laughing, the fucking it's fuck. God damn it! Did you ever see Desert Blue?
No.
The indie movie Desert Blue.
No.
With Casey Affleck. He's in it, and it's like 2 years after this, and he's like dead serious, and he's like, he like hit a growth spurt, and he's like all like, but I know I'm serious, and I'm not gonna laugh like that anymore.
I did look him up. His cliff notes were left me wanting for sure.
Left me wanting.
Yeah, like what else did you do? Wait, was he in Welcome to the Dollhouse? I don't remember.
I think so.
I was dragged, and I say that like ironically, to a viewing of that at a local art house where they were just playing old movies, and I went in blind. I'd never seen Welcome to the Dollhouse. I got to see it on original 35 millimeter.
That's kind of cool.
With our good friend Brent, and it was awesome. I'm actually really glad I got that experience. It's a great movie.
Well, right on. Shout out to Brent for a featured guest on Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yes, that's actually his wheelhouse. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna have to just get in this very convoluted fucking plot.
Oh my god, it's been 13 minutes.
I know we've got a short time left. I'm gonna try to wrap this up real quick. Basically, I hate this character. I hate Lucas. I just say, like, I don't believe.
Wait, the character as written, as the actor portrays it,
I don't
or all
know.
of the above?
I'm not sure. It's a hat on a hat. I hate the glasses. I don't feel like this character would wear those glasses on
orange
his motorcycle.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Oh, absolutely.
I don't
So the
know.
opening scene is he is closing down the record store, and he's been given instructions. It's his first time closing. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. And instead, he dicks off and is doing everything he's not supposed to be doing, and stumbles across what is a pending contract for their independent record store to be bought out by a chain store. And so Lucas does.
Town.
Yes. So Lucas does what he has to be. I mean, he's 21, right? Because he's ordering drinks.
He's at least 21.
We can talk about the age thing later. I have a lot of things to deal with, like the ages of all the characters in this. So he says, I'm going to take this money from today, $9,000, but instead of taking it to the bank like a responsible night manager on his first closing shift,
Classic Lucas.
I'm going to hop on my crotch rocket, put on my orange Ray-Bans.
I don't think it's a crotch rocket. Hold on. I think
Semantics.
it's a Harley.
Okay, fine. It's a Harley. It's a crotch rocket. It's totally a crotch rocket. And he puts on the clear orange sunglasses to drive at night to Atlantic City, and I guess this is supposed to be based in Delaware, which is about a 2-hour drive.
That's another question. Like, where the fuck is this record store?
They're in Delaware. They're in Delaware, and they're about, I think, 2 to 3 hours outside of Atlantic City. But I don't think, and if anybody hears this and you want to chime in the comments, if you're from Delaware, would you ride a motorcycle to Atlantic City at night? Because if they close at midnight. Because they say it how many times in the movie?
Several. We'll say that.
So then he's closed. He's dicked around doing what he's not supposed to be doing, and then he goes to Atlantic City.
Well, that kind of gives that kind of makes more sense that he's there in the morning when they show up, but also why? So he loses the money. Blah blah blah. You know, like classic Lucas. You know, he wins the money and then doubles, rolls again.
That whole montage of I walked in and just everything was lighting up around me. I said, bet on black.
Trump Plaza,
they won.
Trump
I won
there.
this. They won. And then, the girl. That was one of my favorite lines in the movie. So he walks in, just starts throwing out bets at other people's tables. They win, grabs a drink off a tray.
Oh yeah, it's so.
And wait, what is he playing? I'm not a gambler. So
he's playing craps.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing craps. He says, "Do I have to hit this number? Do I have to hit 7?"
Casinos are like Walmart to me. I go there to people watch and have cheap drinks. I don't gamble for shit.
I go there to take the house down.
That's what Lucas was doing until he doubled his money.
No, I think technically he's just trying to just double the money and then go back.
And why is he doubling the money?
It's also unclear,
because he says it later because he wants to give Joe the money to buy out Music Town.
No, we know that, but Joe already had the money to buy out. The $9,000 was to buy out Music Town.
I thought that was the money that he was supposed to turn into the bank.
It's unclear,
right?
It doesn't make any sense.
I watched the ending twice just to make sure what they were doing. We'll talk about that later.
It's so convoluted.
I was under the impression that was the money from sales from that day that Lucas was supposed to report on and then take to the bank.
Yes.
$9,000 back then.
That'll save a record store.
I mean, that's only
$9,000.
1995. Are you kidding me?
From Music Town.
A Music Town?
So
I don't think Seventh Heaven had that kind of money.
they
Oh,
didn't.
they probably did actually.
They probably did.
Based
We
on what
know
they were selling in the basement.
We know they did. My mom still to this day is like, that's a cocaine dealer.
Oh, bless you, man.
So here's another question: why is Lucas even at the record store in the morning when they show up? Only it's for fucking like.
Where else is he gonna go?
It's home.
Where is his home?
Probably nearby. I don't know. Like, what I'm saying is like it's such sweaty exposition to where it's like he's there and then Mark and AJ show up and it's like, oh dude, Lucas, what are you doing here, bro? And he goes, I gotta go. And then leaves. And they're like, something must weird happened. I don't know. Fucking this is bullshit. Like whatever.
He's I lost all my money last night, guys.
No, he said I
lost everything.
He said, but he doesn't talk about that.
Correct.
Anyway,
and then out of that very, very bleak exposition, AJ's like, oh, he closed last night, so he must have taken the money to Atlantic City and lost it. And look, Joe is showing up right now. By the way, what kind of car was that Joe was driving? That was it was a 70s model. It was a 70s model.
I also have that in the notes. I was like,
okay.
I didn't look it up, but I was like.
And the leather-looking jacket that he wears.
Style. So the first thing in my notes right here is Joe's wardrobe.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'm like.
With the hair.
Is he cool? Like like the kids respect him for wearing that shit to a record store.
I don't know, man. How old is Joe? How old is he supposed to be?
I think that's another thing. Like he's. At one point, he beats one of the children that work at his record store.
I mean, he deserved to get his ass kicked, but we'll talk about that later.
That's not necessarily untrue, but I mean, Lucas is at least 21, so I'll take that. Whatever. But the kids' ages in this thing are just super bonkers to me. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, I just have Joe's wardrobe.
Yeah.
What?
So, the confusing of what happens when Lucas gets back, and then everybody finds out about what happened, which, I mean, they didn't have cell phones back then. They didn't have, I mean, we had pagers, but I didn't see anybody on an actual phone, but yet, like, all these people show up and just know the story. Like, do you remember how gossip got that hot back then? Like, what did we do?
Oh, I remember.
What?
I would, have you ever heard of, like pigeon? I would send a pigeon, I would send a raven.
I mean, it's an honest question. Like, 1995, we had a second phone line in my house, and it was like royalty.
The next thing in my notes is, I'm gonna fuck Rex Manning.
Yes. So, cut to the next scene. Renee Zellweger is in her very awesome. What kind of car was that?
It's a Bronco.
Yeah.
It's a drop top Bronco from
She's
the fucking
picking
60s. It's one of the coolest cars of all time.
She's picking up Liv Tyler from what looks like.
Corey.
Oh, sorry. She's picking up Corey, and Corey comes bouncing out of her fancy, like, little Connecticut-looking home. And
it's very Connecticut.
She's got baked goods. She's got her little pleated skirt with her crop top, and they're ready to go to work. And then Corey gets in the car.
Rex Manning.
And not just fuck him, give him my virginity, because this 18-year-old Harvard-bound high school student has been saving herself for what would have been the fucking David Hasselhoff of 1995.
He wishes.
In Germany.
Whatever. Yeah. Yes, in Germany. Indeed.
Some German girl in Germany is living out her best life, Corey style.
Sure.
100%. And trying to get in bed with a David Hasselhoff wearing a slick button-up shirt.
The dialogue in this part is just like the dialogue in this whole movie is barely listen. Like I can't. Like I'm just like, this is not how anyone has ever talked to anyone ever. I just can't. It's speaking of that, the producer of this movie had the script for Clueless and did this movie instead.
Sounds like we all lucked out on that one.
Think about that. Like the
Clueless is a great example of what is a good movie in 1995 regarding teenagers, because it's funny and ironic and also truthful.
And there's at the end of the day, there's like redemption. People learn something.
Paul Rudd.
And Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Kansas City's own. Shout out to future guest Paul Rudd.
Let's just go ahead and everybody search Big Slick. Great foundation that he's co-founded. Continue.
This is where I just in my notes I just wrote down. This is the most '90s fucking movie of all time. Like it's
the wardrobe.
Just everything. The montage, the wardrobe. They all get to work and they're all going to dust to music. Another thing that really pisses me off about this movie, being a record collector, being a DJ, being a musical appreciator, there's no version of this where you're in a record store and someone stops the CD, the record,
the veto.
tape.
Well, technically they only vetoed Mark because Mark sucks.
That's
but
fine. That's fine. I'm fine with the veto, but no one would ever just put on something and just not let it play. You change it after the song. That's the deal.
That's also one of your personal
okay, maybe I'm projecting.
Let's just side story this. 20 years of friendship. I'm pretty sure you have got on me about that.
It's the worst
almost
thing there
every
is.
time we've hung out.
Even if you don't like it, just let it go.
I'm working on it, okay? It may take another 20 years. Just forgive me.
The next thing I have in my notes is AJ's acting is so bad.
Can we get into this?
Please.
I have so many things about this. Okay, first of all, 1995. AJ, the character, the way he dresses, his whole persona is exactly where I was at. I was a 13-year-old girl. He was my everything. As a 40-year-old woman, I look back and I'm like, look at this whiny, lazy piece of shit. And if you actually like kind of break it out, he's like 21, has his own apartment. He just works at a record store. He's there all day, even though he's not on a shift, because he just wants to do his art. And he is in love with the girl who is 18, virgin, and going off to Harvard.
It's not that cancel-y yet. I mean, it's okay. Whatever.
Okay, so
he seems to be a nice guy.
Let's talk about the scene where he is discussing on how he's going to profess his love to her.
Right. He says this to Joe, right?
He's on the roof. He has come up to Joe and he said, "Hey, I know you're having a busy day. You just lost $9,000. Blah blah blah. Somebody stole it. Can you help me? I've worked here for 5 years." 5 years. And I have just been in love with Corey this whole time. So she started when she was 13, apparently. And I need to tell her because, you know, when you've been friend zoned for 5 years, you should definitely profess your love for her at work.
Sure.
Right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And even then, you should show up early for your shift and hang out all day to stew about how you've waited 5 years to tell her this. And then you should tell her. But let's go on the roof first. Let's go up on the roof and let's practice what we're going to say to her. And let's say things like, you're like a bubble bath. You're relaxing. I love you. No, you're like vanilla ice cream. You're my favorite flavor. And I'm like, the fuck is this dude talking about?
Dude.
Also, can we talk about the fact he's wearing a checkered sweater vest?
Hey, I'm not going to disparage the guy's dress. I'll take it.
With a cardigan.
Whatever.
It's
got a little style.
It's like,
I'm not mad at him for that.
Hold on, let me finish. It's like they took a picture of Kurt Cobain in his cardigan with the hair and the sweater vest underneath, and they went, okay, that's AJ.
That's true.
Ironically, what is Rex Manning Day? But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we're not even there yet. Holy shit. We got like 2 minutes left.
All he does is whine, and it's super annoying. But baby, I love you. Oh, but Dad, please, I need you. I'm just the friendly one who's a total fucking douchebag.
Also, lest we forget, I don't know if we're going to put this in the canceled corner, but it's today you're acting like the Chinese guy from The Karate Kid.
Yes.
It's Japanese or whatever. I don't know.
I wasn't even going to bring that up.
Is that on purpose? Like, you know, is it on purpose to be
he
like
could
he
have just
doesn't know
said,
that he's
you're being a
Japanese?
sensei. Or
Like-
something in the terms of you're being
Anyway, we're not going to mess
a
with
mentor who's trying to guide me. Like, there's a lot of different variations.
We're not going to mess with that one. Okay.
I think we all agree that it is questionable, but it is done now, and we can just all agree we don't agree with it.
This is
Agree to disagree.
This is brings me on to my next question. Does the store collectively, obviously Lucas doesn't, but do they like Rex Manning? Rex Manning's coming to do an in-store signing for his new record.
I was confused why he was there if they all hate him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, because they're trying to like drum up business for the store. I'm sure that's the thing.
Well, hold on. You have to think about it. So this is 1995, right? So the biggest musical acts of that year were Madonna, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're trying to say. It's like, we don't listen to that shit anymore. Now it's this old, because he's clearly older than everyone. You know, he's 10 years older than everyone. He's an
Great,
80s
good for you.
He's an 80s throwback. You know, call him like Richard Marx. I think that'd be a better version, like Richard
my God,
Marx.
I had that on cassette.
I bet you did. See, there you go. There you go.
When I see you smile.
So we still don't know if they like Rex Manning, but clearly also Corey does.
You can tell they're faking it, but yeah.
I mean, Corey likes him. She's gonna try to lose her virginity to him.
She's like in love with him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I did have the Richard Marx cassette tape. Me and a girlfriend, 9 years old, used to sing it together on my little like boom box back in 1989, whenever that shit came out. He had the hair, the mullet. It was great.
That's why I think that it's a good kind of like, you know, representation for
I
Rex
absolutely
Manning.
agree. A lot of females will identify with that similar like obsession. New Kids on the Block.
So now we have the shoplifting scene with Warren.
Oh God, are we already fast forwarding? Have we missed anything? So Rex Manning shows. So Lucas
We're
comes back.
short on time here, so like
I apologize.
So yeah.
So Lucas comes back without the money and then makes an ominous statement to the two guys. He peels out. Joe shows up. And then they all go inside. Meanwhile, the guys are telling everybody who's showing up for work, oh my God, we think Lucas stole the money. He went off to Atlantic City. Joe comes in, sees the money's gone, fucking loses it. And they're all like, what's wrong, Joe? And then they start their work day. They have their little montage. And it's just like business as usual, except for that it's Rex Manning Day. And here you go.
Shoplifting scene with Warren.
Rex Manning hasn't showed up yet.
Because he's not there yet.
I thought he was there during the shoplifting thing. It doesn't matter. Continue.
Regardless.
Irregardless.
This podcast is as unfocused as this movie is. So, like, we're on point. You know.
Fair enough.
The shoplifting montage, god damn it, like...
Oh, it's on my list of worst scenes in the movie.
It's whatever, like, you know, obviously it's played for laughs, you know, like, you know, he's gonna catch him, you know, he changes his shoes.
I thought the setup was hilarious. You know, they got the kid. I mean, he even has like the decoder in his pocket, and he's
essential.
Yeah.
Do you call it? You mean the magnet?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. He's deactivating the security on the CDs.
Yeah,
he's got the big like
magnet.
a windbreaker coat.
Sure.
And Lucas sees him doing it, and he gets all stealth about it. This is when the fourth wall comes down again.
Sure, changes his shoes.
Suddenly he's narrating to us, not just in the movie. And then he's like, "What? Oh God, what did he say?" He's like, "Always leave them questioning or something." And right as he's getting ready to approach, who we soon find out is Warren Beatty.
Our friend Warren Beatty. Shout out to, never mind, he's never coming on this podcast. I would not have him.
Ooh, the non-shout out.
This is then they put him on the couch because Lucas is also on the couch and is
I thought we were talking about the montage scene.
Which one? There's so
This
many.
one, the shoplifting one, where he ran in and out of the building and around in circles, and then he hits him with a door.
Yep.
I mean, nowadays that'd be assault, but go ahead.
I'm just gonna have to, since we're running short on time here. 30 minutes.
Okay, sorry. 12 minutes left.
We're gonna go right down to Joe's angry drumming.
Oh, come on!
I hate it so bad.
I actually listed that as one of the only scenes I like.
Really?
Well, yeah, dude, you gotta like it when and he's frustrated, and so he just goes and he rocks out to AC/DC.
And then they play it in the store, and also Lucas's character is miming the singing, except he clearly does not know the lyrics to it. The actor does not. And
he doesn't need to know the lyrics. He's banging Renee Zellweger.
The ADR in this movie is so bad. Do you know what ADR is?
Please explain. Automated
dialogue replacement.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? So if they don't get your actual, mic'd recording from a mic pack that's usually behind your back,
okay.
like ran up to your shirt.
Got it.
So they have to go into an
Studio.
audio booth, do it.
Re-record it.
It's so fucking bad throughout the whole movie.
Is it bad because he didn't know the words or because they changed them?
No. I'm just saying
that would incline that they knew something was bad. I don't mean
just that scene. I mean the whole movie. Like it's
enough.
just bad. I hate to nitpick that one because it's They made it for $10 million. I don't whatever.
I was going to go for when they caught him and they were trying to take pictures of him because they do that with other shoplifters. They brought Rex Manning into the pictures. Why would Rex Manning deign to take pictures with the shoplifter?
And that's a nitpick that I didn't even want to necessarily get into because it's kind of mundane. It's a comedy. It's whatever. You know,
Is it though?
You have to really suspend disbelief. And that's not even necessarily my problem with this movie is the suspension of disbelief. It's more the record store culture that they're trying to portray and then immediately break all those rules, you know, because they're trying to be like, oh, all these people know about music. You know, all these people love music so much, blah, blah, blah. And then they immediately abandon all of those ideas. Also, you have to really suspend your disbelief. This movie, it's like anytime you look over, it's like AJ's not working. He's doing art at work.
Yeah, he's 21.
We've all worked in retail. We've all worked
We've worked together.
We work together. Like it's like no, you work at work. I'm just sorry.
Except for when you don't work and you take 40-minute bathroom breaks, but that's neither here nor there.
That's 40, 50, 60.
I mean, talk about another classic Ethan Embry moment. He is dusting the store and he comes up to the girl who's got the headphones on.
Yeah, in the listening booth and kisses
she's
her foot.
She's not in the listening booth. She's outside of it, and she's just sitting there with her eyes closed, waving her arms around, enjoying her music. And he walks up to her and puts his lips out like he's gonna kiss her, like strange woman.
He kisses her foot,
and then she accidentally hits him. Luckily. And she looks over and she's like, what are you doing in my personal space? I'm enjoying music. And he's like, oh, sorry. And he makes that like, I'm just dusting thing. And then he circles around her and then like bumps into her again, grabs her leg to hold it up and then kisses her foot. I mean, and then he just makes that fucking smile, that shit-eating grin. Oh, I'm just a 12-year-old like baby, just ignore me. It's okay. It's fine. Like, you just basically molested that girl and tried to assault her without her permission. Right. I'm not being dramatic. Like, I'm not saying, he should be arrested.
No.
But you walked up to a girl, you tried to kiss her when her eyes were closed, and then you continued to fondle her and kiss her feet.
Well, my thing, though, is, like, I want to know how the editor and or director was like, hell yeah, this is staying in.
Oh, God, don't even get us started on what was cool in 1995.
But this is the
acceptable,
point
I guess is a better word.
In the movie where we're starting to realize that this is so unfocused. You can tell that there's things that are cut out. You can tell that there's certain things where it's like, what's going on?
The montages are total filler moments. Like there's something actually happening.
Right. But like the storyline is chopped up.
Have you noticed that like when you looked at the montages, like it'll cut back and forth. There's several montages where the outfits don't even match.
Right. Well, because this is supposed to be 2 days. In the original
No, it's the same scene. It is the same 30 seconds, but they cut away and come back and cut away and come back, and like his shirt's on, his shirt's off, his shirt's on, his shirt's off.
Well, right,
her shirt's on, his shirt's off. Yeah.
Like originally this was over 2 days and not 1 day, so they kind of had to deal. It's in the editing it gets super dicey.
Sure.
It's a great film. Anyway. What do I have next on my notes? We meet the guitar player guy, the rocker dude. He just comes in. Also,
Becco?
What's his name?
What's his name?
He's very much what feels like an afterthought at this point. Like
Burko.
There you go. He's got a guitar at work.
He's on my top 4 worst characters list. Absolutely. If you don't mind if I take the lead on this one.
Please.
So the actor who plays Burko lied about his age so that he could even be in the film because apparently there was a cap. They got 15-year-old Liv Tyler and then they've got 40-year-old Burko and he's like, I really want to be in this film, so I'm going to tell him I'm like 21 to get in the film. And then he has like 4 lines. And then my favorite one, just when his girlfriend has tried to slit her wrist the night before, shaves her head, and she goes, I just need time. And he just walks away like, oh, okay, babe, later.
We haven't really talked about Deb a lot. The manner in which...
He's a non-starter.
The manner in which this film handles teenage suicide is fucking reckless.
Ironically, it's 1995. It's like, aren't we in like the peak, like heroin days, and like there's all this stuff going down, grunge era.
A lot of people have recently committed suicide.
Yes. So Kurt Cobain. Yeah. So that was 94, right?
Yeah.
It was very interesting the way they handled that topic. Did you want to cover that?
Gag. Well, I mean, we don't have to go too deep into it, but I mean, like,
it's one of the opening scenes.
It's a gag. Like they're like, ha ha ha, teen depression, teen suicide. It's pretty mismanaged. It's pretty cavalier, we'll say. And
AJ noticed. AJ cared.
That's true.
And then he took off his shirt.
That's true. And then the way they handle it later is it just gets more egregious and more egregious and more egregious. That brings me back to where the fuck is this store?
To sum it up, it's three dudes who go, "Oh, hey, are you okay?"
Dub's like,
"Can I like do anything?" And she goes, "No, leave me alone." And they're like, "Okay, great." And they just walk away.
Does Eddie work at the store, or is he a drug dealer?
I thought he was that guy that won that MTV VJ contest.
No, that's that's Jesse.
Yeah, is that like his brother?
No, I mean that's not.
They look the same now.
They kind of. I miss MTV VJ Jesse. He was great.
He was great. He lost to the Dave guy. And the Dave guy like went on to actually like be successful as an anchor and like stuff. And
I don't know the Dave guy.
Jesse's in a band or something. Eddie, I was confused by that too. He
sells the pot brownie.
Somebody has to bring drugs into it. So of course they made it the greasy.
So they make someone look stupid.
The greasy fucking dude with the bad teeth. Yeah,
but he's also
for sure.
But he's also like.
Does he work there? I couldn't figure it out.
He's like later on. He's the pizza guy. I don't know, man.
But he walks into the break room, which is like the most phenomenal break room you've ever seen in your life.
Yep.
It's as big as like 2 living rooms, and it's got little artist stations, the old couch,
where
lockers,
AJ does a lot of art.
A lot of art.
Day.
My favorite is
the
quarters glued to the floor, but
very subversive.
Very subversive. AJ. But yeah, Eddie just pops in.
Get it. Hashtag Warren doesn't get it.
Hashtag Warren does not get it. But yeah, no. Eddie just pops in and out. He does the mixtape. Oh, dude, the mixtape.
Which is still a thing.
How many times did you make a mixtape for somebody?
Oh, 100 times.
Hit me.
So many times. I still make playlists for people right now.
You know what my favorite mixtape was?
Huh.
I think it was actually in 1995. There was a kid in my neighborhood who was pretty cute, Devin Sawa style. Mm-hmm. And he knew, it was when Black Hole Sun came out, Soundgarden. Yep. And we were hanging out with a bunch.
But sure.
We were hanging out with a bunch of neighborhood kids. I think he had a trampoline, so he was hot and he had a trampoline. Just the total package, basically, at that point. And I mentioned that Black Hole Sun was one of my favorite songs, and so you know what he did? He recorded it 9 times on a single cassette tape and brought it to my house, and he even did like a personalized little cover thing. I was so embarrassed and shocked. Really? By the fact that the hot guy with the trampoline made me a tape that I never spoke to him again. Also, he was my brother's friend, and I was totally scared of how that was going to happen. Sure. So then I ended up dating my other brother's friend, but it's fine. It's all it's fine. It all works out.
Marrying your other brother's friend.
I did end up marrying my brother's best friend in college. But yeah,
wait a second. You didn't like it that he gave you a mixtape?
I was just so like shy and embarrassed. It's like, the hot guy with a trampoline down the street made me a mixtape, and he's my brother's friend. And so I was just so embarrassed. Like, I just didn't say anything. Like, it's like when, like, your crush comes to talk to you, and you're just speechless.
Oh, sure.
And so I just never said anything.
Man. Well, hopefully we'll get that guy on the podcast. What's his name?
Yeah, I'll have to go back through Facebook or something.
It's probably his first name.
No, I don't actually remember his first name.
You don't know his first name?
He ended up moving like 6 months later. We're getting off topic.
It's Josh.
Actually, my first boyfriend was Josh. He was my brother's friend. Shout out to Josh, by the way. You were a great boyfriend for all 3.5 weeks.
So a lot of art at work seems like a pretty good place to work. For AJ. And then we have to smash cut to fucking Corey is addicted to pills.
This is the Saved by the Bell Jesse Spano
was about to
movement.
say,
I
hold
am
on a
here
second,
for
hold on a
this.
second, hold on a second. So, like, it's such a throwaway. This makes zero sense. They haven't done anything, and then all of a sudden she's like, "I'm stressed out. I'm gonna fucking."
It was a pretty epic meltdown.
I also feel like we've completely skipped over the fact that.
I had the order written down. You're the one skipping.
Sorry,
this is your podcast. By the way, you have 15 minutes.
We have to do this in a tight 30.
You have 15 minutes left.
15 minutes left. God,
Okay.
that's why I'm rushing.
Sorry.
Okay, so where are we at in your timeline?
Okay, so they have gotten to the store. Everybody knows what Lucas is up to. Lucas comes back. Joe yells at him, puts him on the couch. They open the store. It's Rex Manning Day. They're all excited. This old artist is coming in to sign autographs.
We already covered.
I'm just recapping really quick because we've been blabbering on for approximately 3 minutes.
Blathering.
And fine. And so Rex Manning shows up, and they're all just like, "Oh, hey, it's Rex Manning. Hey, what happened to your hair? It looks good. We loved your new album."
We haven't even brought up Debbie Mazar yet, whom I love.
Oh, we'll get there. And so then he's already uncomfortable because he doesn't feel like he's getting the response from like the people that have shown up and the people that work there that he deserves. Cut to them bringing him out to his table to sign records. "I don't want this chair." "What do you mean? What's wrong with that chair?" "I don't want this chair." "What's wrong with the chair?" "We can't get you in the chair. We're going to get you in the chair." And then Joe's like, "Here's another chair." So he sits down, starts doing autographs, and then cue back to the back where the kids are still peak drama. I think this is where the Deb thing happens. No, that's already happened. Sorry.
That's already happened.
So what happens after that?
Well, this is...
Eddie shows up with the brownies.
The brownies.
Warren comes to shoplift.
And then basically at this point, Corey is like, "Hey, Rex.
Yes, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime.
Joe, I'm serving Rex's lunch!"
Yeah, it's so fucking ham-fisted. It's so sweaty.
So Corey, who's 18, off to Harvard soon, has decided to give Rex her virginity.
This is what I don't understand. She's like, "Hey, let's have some sex," and he's like, "Cool." And then she's like,
He whips it out, and then she looks at him like
but then
he
she
just
doesn't want to do it anymore, I guess.
Well, so I wondered.
She's having a crisis.
Does he have a small penis? Was it really small?
And that's why she's crying.
Yeah. She
No,
didn't realize how small they really were.
In my brain, he's rocking a gigantic hog.
Of course it is in your brain. I know what you like, John. But also at this time, the internet doesn't even exist, so she's probably never seen a penis.
This is another thing where I'm like, I feel like the screenplay and or script or whatever is so off the rails that like it just doesn't make sense because it's not like she's like, "No, I shouldn't do this. I don't want this for myself."
Correct. You get zero actual context to
Absolutely.
why she goes from throwing
like
herself at him
to
and then
crying.
And then he starts to unbutton his pants like, "Okay," and he even said, "Are you sure you want this?" And she says yes, and she looks super lusty in that scene, like she's good to go. And then so he starts to unbutton his pants, and then she looks at him like he just showed her like the most offensive thing of all time, and grabs her clothes and storms out.
By the way, for context here, Tharpies, I don't want you to at me about this because I'm not trying to say that she should have done this or needs to do anything. I'm just saying this is a script problem.
Yeah, like there's no context
problem.
Why did she storm out? I was completely confused. And then what happens next?
Then
they go
Gina,
to Eddie's pizza place.
Oh, she goes. Yeah, so Eddie does not work there, I guess.
I
Eddie's
don't know.
Pizza place.
He looks like he's wearing a pizza shirt.
He works at both places, sort of. I guess he's doing double duty. He's a
Renaissance man.
They have lunch. They have a very lengthy, long lunch in the middle of the day, which is not a thing that happens in retail,
especially for minimum wage folks.
And absolutely, and then she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go fucking fuck Rex Manning."
Wait, hold on, bring it back. So the taking off of the bra. Did she get that bra from Gina? Is that why she threw it at her? "I'm not like you. I can't be you. I can't just have sex with whoever I want." And then she takes the bra off at the table and throws it at her. I'm like, I feel like there's a scene missing here.
Where 100%. There's so many scenes missing in this movie.
Where Gina was trying to support her because she was fucking just like, I am gonna have sex with Rex Manning. So Gina's like, I'm your friend. I'm gonna support you because whatever. Here's a sexy bra.
By doing that, I'm gonna go fuck him.
Also, pairing the red sexy bra with the white cotton underpants, I thought was weird, but also gave like the virginal tones of like, she's obviously never seen a penis before. Yes, I'm judging. I don't care. At me. So yeah, so then she throws the bra, calls Gina a slut, and then just like runs off. Again, the context is
I really
disappointing.
feel like there's so many things on the cutting room floor of this movie that like.
Well, they got the montages in John. That's all that matters. It makes
zero sense so many different times, and then
they needed the Mustang for that montage. That was more important.
So anyway, so now Corey starts to reveal that she's, I guess, a drug addict.
She never reveals it.
She likes. Well, I mean, she takes pills. There's a very ham-fisted scene.
You're right. I apologize.
And I'm like, are we to believe this is a Jessie Spano type of diet pill addiction?
She's so excited.
She's extremely. I don't think she is excited.
Oh no, I'm so excited.
No, I get it.
I'm so scared.
Oh, I got the reference, but I just don't think Corey's very excited. She seems less than excited. And then we go to, why is the door locked? Where's Gina? Where everyone's standing around. We're so like,
I love how there's 10 people in this building
teenagers
and a celebrity, and apparently just like,
and Joe's letting a sex romp happen.
Non-stop customers, but yet through all these people that are in the store and just like pillaring around or whatever you call it, suddenly she walks in and she goes, "Where's Rex?
Where's Gina?
And
why is this door locked?
Why is this door locked?"
And everyone's looking at it. Now I'm like, Joe, you might be responsible here. You know, like these are ostensibly teenagers.
He's like 40, and she's definitely at least.
I think Rex Manning's like 50.
I mean, I get the impression that Gina's graduated high school at this point. I feel like that Corey is the youngest one. No, but like just for context, like I don't feel like Gina was underage, and that should be a discussion.
No, you mean under legal age? I mean,
correct.
Like, sure, yes, she's. I
but still,
I would imagine because they're best friends, are probably the same age.
Dude, that guy is creepy as fuck, man. A 40-year-old, and she's only doing it out of spite,
which also of her best friend. No context for,
because of course,
zero sense.
Because of course, all the females in this fucking movie are just like toxic, catty, bitchy, depressive. Like the guys are all hot. And their biggest problems are, I just like
AJ is so
gambled
hot.
away all the business's money. I'm just making brownies. I'm just super cute and I like guar.
Well,
I just love everybody. And the girls are like,
I don't think Pete is very hot. Sorry, Pete.
Do we need to have a second podcast?
Yep, it's called Pete or Neat.
Dude, but it's classic bullshit. The girls are fighting and depressive and crazy, and the guys just like have the most dumbest problems in the whole world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is that true? Do you think that's what it is?
I'm sorry. So Jane was the only nice one, and she quit as soon as she got there, and then she came back to ask Joe out.
Debbie Mazar, by the way.
Why did she ask him out? That was confusing to me.
Also, I guarantee you there is another cut scene about them like romanticizing or him being sweet.
We do need to look at deleted scenes.
To whatever. I don't think they're available. I'm just saying, like, when I say deleted, I mean like never put in the fucking movie. Like, not even deleted scenes. I mean, just
everybody has deleted scenes. I thought that was a thing.
It's not in this movie.
Okay, and also her hair with the hat.
Hold on a second. I was about to get there. You beat me to the punch. And I was like, Debbie Mazar. We love Debbie Mazar over here on this podcast.
Goodfellas, Entourage. But her eyes are gorgeous. What was up with the hair? Was that a wig?
No, it was just blonde.
And then constantly she'd have a hat on. Dude, she was wearing beanies before the hipsters are wearing beanies. What was up with that?
That's literally what was in the notes. Debbie Mazar, we love her.
So
what the fuck is the hair going on here?
She shows up with Rex, gets him in the building, gets him situated,
quits,
sits down, and then finds out that the crew at this fucking record store in Delaware, this group of 20-year-old people go, we don't actually like Rex Manning. She's like, and now I quit. Okay, real professional Jane. And then so she comes back later with a beanie and then asks Joe out on his worst day. Like, dude, this guy's life's falling apart. She's like, hey, let's go to dinner. Yep. Your life's falling apart too.
So that begins the third act of the movie. At this point, I don't even really need my notes anymore because
I'm surprised they're not doing heroin in the booth at this point.
The end of my notes are the third act is completely off the fucking rails.
Okay, I had to watch this 3 times to even understand exactly how this movie wrapped up. I felt like that was a big gray area. So what was their goal? Okay, so
they do a fundraiser.
Lucas gambles away all of the money that's in the safe because he wanted to double it to prevent the music store from getting sold to Music Town.
He lost,
but he fucks that up.
Yep.
And then when their big celebrity star comes in that's supposed to attract more business, they fuck that up. So then the actual owner, who is Joe's brother, his name is Mitch. Are they brothers?
No,
it kind of seems like they are.
No, they're not brothers.
They're not?
That's a dude from like corporate, like coming. That's the dude from Music Town.
Mitch is the owner of the store, and he's like,
he's the owner. No, he's the owner of like the property. Like,
right?
No, they're not. They're definitely not brothers.
Okay, so I kind of felt like there was like a brotherly thing there, but then not. Okay, so then Mitch, the actual owner, shows up, and we're like, and he's like, you guys fucking lost my money. We're going to sell to Music Town. And at this point, Joe's already told the crew, like, I was going to try and buy it, but you guys fucking lost some money and you're acting like jackasses. So guess what? Now you work for Music Town and we're all fucked. So this is after the Rex Manning gets kicked out and Deb has her little funeral.
Mm-hmm. Can we just
wake?
For a brief moment, we have to address this. Like, I know I said it earlier, but like, the way they dealt with, mental illness and or depression and or suicide is addiction is beyond fucking egregious. Like
in 2022 standards.
No, but I mean, even then, I suppose. Sure, we'll put this in the cancel corner for Tharp and 30. But even then, it's just like. They put her in a coffin, and they
put her on a table. It was a table, and they lined it with lights, and they hung like a cross on the wall. Oh, by the way, why does everybody put crosses everywhere? You think Jesus wants to come back and see a fucking cross?
Sure. Another torture device. It's the most popular torture device.
At me on that. Like, I will take you down on that.
Hey, I will not. So I guess Deb realizes she wants to live, but she doesn't really say that.
Oh, which by the way, the girls had to come and do for her because the guys all stood around and went, "I just love you a lot," like blah blah. Just like the all of the drama.
They realize they're friends.
It's all around the girls, and they're the ones actually moving forward the plot, and the guys just stand around, look good, and whine a lot. It's fucking bullshit. Yep. But we also didn't talk about AJ's confession on the roof, but I don't think we need to talk about that.
We don't. Let's just skip it. Yeah.
Great. I like this part.
How about this? Hey, I love you. Hey, you're my friend. Let's move on.
Yes.
There we go.
I also loved how
bringing me to another ridiculous plot point.
He picks the moment to
sure. I need to be with you because I've never even thought about it ever, and now everything's great, and now we're gonna be together.
He picked the moment that she had just thrown herself at Rex Manning to confess his love for her. Oh, by the way, while she's visibly crying and pulling away from him and telling her to leave him alone, she's saying no. He's saying yes. I'm going to push anyway. Another example of just terrible fucking male behavior in this movie. I've silenced him.
I really didn't want to nitpick this movie because movies are stupid. Like there's 1,000 movies that are like this, but this one just seems the most unfocused ever. And it's really more about how everyone's like, dude, that movie kicks ass. It's a movie from my childhood that rocks.
I would be interested to hear what the positive takeaways are for people who like them. So if you were to think of movies that are like your favorite movies from the 90s and like what your takeaways are. And sure, we can nitpick those and they've got their own shit in them. Like this is definitely not like I'm here to like put Empire Records to the stake and just be like, it's terrible.
No, of course not.
But I can't not mention that.
No,
sorry.
No, absolutely, no, 100%. I completely agree with you, and that's what I was saying earlier at the start of this cast that I was like, you know, man, I'm not gonna roast this movie. And then I fucking watched it again, and I was like, oh, I have.
I
to.
hardcore
I
stand
can't.
AJ back in the day.
I can't. I can't back this movie up. It is very, very bad. A lot of our contemporaries and friends are like, fuck yeah. That's like the text of my young adult life. And I'm like, it's fucking terrible.
John, we only have 12 minutes left.
Okay, so we have to. So let's wrap up the third act then.
Funeral.
The funeral, then fundraiser.
And during the funeral, they get busy, they freak out, and then for some reason they start pulling their money together, and they go, "Hey, Lucas, here's $900." You know, so trying to like
Why
raise.
are they giving it to Lucas?
Because he's the one that lost the $9,000. So it took me 3 times watching this to understand. Be like, okay,
Joe.
here's what happened. Lucas lost the $9,000, and Joe's even said I could still call the cops at this point and have you arrested for losing my $9,000. And so the friends,
think he needs it.
So after Warren came back with the gun.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Okay, hold on a second.
My God, what are you on over there?
So Jesus Christ, like.
Okay, again,
Lucas
with the
comes
cross
back-
thing, we're dropping it.
No, hold on a second. No, the gun. No, the gun. The Warren comes back with the gun.
Yes.
And
AJ's at the register. He busts the gun out.
Is firing blanks in a record store.
Dude, and that was a gun.
It's a 357 Magnum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say, I know you know what kind of gun it is.
This is the stupidest fucking part of the movie. This is like, there's so many stupid parts of this movie. It's the worst one.
It's on my list.
It's very bad. Like,
but so go ahead and talk through it. Like, so he walks in.
So my thing is like, again, I'm like, the screenwriter, the script supervisor, the editor, the director are sitting in there like, hell yeah, this is a good idea.
Because of course a man would bring a gun to solve his problem.
We're gonna have this. Okay,
Classic 90s.
Calm down. Now, just the fact that this is a plot point in the movie,
And the female defused him.
is bonkers. In that he doesn't, but he does go to jail. But he gets out of jail immediately,
Because
and he
he's a
comes
juvenile.
back. But he gets arrested.
The line that the cop says while they're arresting
They're
him
blank.
is, well, considering he's a juvenile and they're blanks, they're probably not going to do anything.
But he's
So that
already
means it's
back.
okay.
But
that means
yeah,
it's okay to load your gun with blanks and go
right,
shoot people.
It's very much not.
Very much okay.
And you will very much not. You will very much get arrested.
2022 standards versus 95 standards.
Even back then, you can't do that in 1995. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to nitpick this film that much anymore.
You have 13 minutes.
So anyway, whatever. So now Warren gets a job. Warren comes
Not
back.
technically. AJ just makes him a badge.
He gets a badge. He's getting a job. You know the deal. He's getting a job up there. And
Is he even old enough to get a job? His kid looks 12.
he looks 12 or 13. And then we're doing a fundraiser. And what's the guy's name, the guitar player? The guitar player
Burko.
guy? Burko. Whose most of his shit was completely cut out of the movie. And there was like 3 other characters cut out
Well,
of the
they
movie.
found out how old he really was.
Well, they still kept him in the movie.
Well, I mean,
Anyway, so then all of a sudden he's on the top of the roof and they're playing and they're rocking out. Where's the drummer?
oh yeah, that's a great plot hole.
There's a lot of rocking and rolling going on up there. No drummer.
That was the Mark band, right? The Mark with a C.
No, what? No. And then also we forgot to talk about also how Gina wants to be a singer. And then she gets her chance on the top of the thing. Do we have to talk about this movie anymore?
So
Is there anything else you got?
Warren shows up with the gun and the blanks and starts to threaten the store. And that's when Deb walks up because, she survived suicide. She's super dark. She just had her funeral.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to let shit go. And she brings him down. Cops show up. They arrest Warren and Lucas. And that's when everybody decides, hey, you guys, Lucas lost $9,000 last night, and we don't want to lose Lucas. He shouldn't go to jail. Why should he go to jail? It's okay to go take $9,000 of a company's money, go blow it at Atlantic City, and then come home, and you shouldn't go to jail. Just like Warren should arm a magnum with blanks and shoot at people in a public place and then still get out an hour later. I mean, this all makes sense. Why should Rex Manning not be able to have sex with an 18-year-old? Why should AJ, a 21-year-old, pry on a high school senior who's bound for college when he has no prospects?
I think that's the least problematic.
Why should we give Deb the suicide risk any more attention? Because let's face it, nobody cares. She should probably die anyway. Like the whole movie is just riddled with like
that's what I'm saying. Like
poor plot lines. And then Joe, obviously midlife crisis, trying to have age 20 when he's really 40 or however old. But it's okay because Jane's going to show up in a beanie and ask him out on a date, so things are probably going to work out for him.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so the movie ties together where the group comes together. This is my interpretation. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. So they're like, we're going to raise the $9,000 that you gambled so you don't get in trouble.
Right.
And then hopefully help Joe build the capital again to prevent us being sold to Music Town.
But then they also still get sold to Music Town, and they are basically saying that.
So
like,
then
he's gonna open his
Mitch
own shop
shows up, and then they're like, you know what? We don't actually need. Here's your $9,000. We don't actually want to keep this store or prevent you from selling Music Town. We just want to make sure that Lucas doesn't go to jail and that Joe gets out. And then Mitch is like, wait. I'll sell it to you for cheap. I'm like, why would you sell it to him for cheap? You just had Music Town on the hook.
It doesn't even make sense.
So right, they were just trying to refill the coffer of what Lucas fucked up.
That's only because he had to work for 5 minutes. He was like, because he starts to man the register.
Yes, of course.
Like, I'll just sell it to you because this is devastating.
Okay, do you remember the story he told Rex Manning? He's like, this was a great store. It was my grandfather's store. We used to sell bathtubs, bidets, everything. And then my hipster dad turned it into a record store. Right. Now I'm trying to make that better. And it's like, wow. I'm surprised he didn't have one of those Zach Morris phones.
This movie sucks. What can I say? This movie sucks. The soundtrack sucks.
Okay, so let's just... You mind if I punch off some stuff really quick?
No, please do.
Okay, so looking into this film, it was... just a natural progression that you would look at the reviews and some of the commentary from 1995. Roger Ebert, 1.5 stars.
Sure. Raj.
Rotten Tomatoes, it was... Let me
30%.
31% of reviewers, 83% of audience. So classic... Not classic. Just cult classic material... 100%. I do have to... I would like to read this. It was a comment that somebody left on Roger Ebert's post.
Please.
Okay. This is from a commenter. It was garbage from start to finish. The acting was terrible. The writing was crap. And if the script was written on actual paper, I feel sorry for every tree that was chopped down so that this pile of junk that masqueraded as a movie could be written. The only paper that script should have been written on was toilet paper, because at least then it would have been put to good use.
Dang.
Because that's exactly where a script for this movie belongs, in the toilet with the rest of the crap.
I can't say a whole lot different. And like I said earlier, I'm not trying to disparage every single actor in this movie or anything like that, but because it's like, You're a teen, you're a kid. You're trying to, fuck yeah, I want to take this movie. I'm trying to act.
Yeah.
Have you seen what Ethan Embry looks like right now?
Yes.
He's super grizzled.
Yes.
Man. I mean, he looks fucking grizzled as hell.
Absolutely. Well, also, we're at an age now where I've got kids, and they're watching these movies thinking this is what my life was like in 1995, and I'm like, no fucking way, that's not happening. Do me a favor.
I never listened to the Gin Blossoms.
Go watch Requiem for a Dream, and then we'll talk.
Oof, that one's still I'm sorry, maybe that will get done in this podcast, but I'm not going to say that's a bad movie. I'm just going to say that's a hard movie, and it was a hard movie then. It's a hard movie now.
It's a hard movie you dragged me to at 2 different theaters.
Darren Aronofsky is a fucking monster genius. I don't know what to say about that, but we're not gonna get in that one. But
Ching.
What was any final thoughts for this movie before we just kind of move on?
Yeah.
It ain't good.
Well, okay, so at the time, 1995, we were very much in a Clinton era. Our culture was. It was low unemployment, low
Billy
interest
C.
rates. The middle class
Billy
was
Clint.
thriving, and we were coming off of other great 90s movies that were, like She's All That, like open the door for just this whole culture. So of course there's going to be some turds in there. I just hope that younger generations are not using this one as a beacon.
As a text.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely not. Go watch Dazed and Confused. Go watch Clueless.
What's your favorite record from 1995?
Are you serious? I didn't even look that shit up. Like, I can't even tell you. Oh, wait. So 1995, let's go ahead and take this back. I'm in 8th grade. Well, my siblings were older. So I was fortunately exposed to a lot of great music that not everybody my age was. Like, I had already listened to, like, Opiate by Tool and the Guns N' Roses albums and...
Everyone had heard the Guns N' Roses album.
Doggy Style... Whatever. Don't say that.
No, seriously. I mean, like, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 are, like, ubiquitous. Everyone's seen all those videos. Everyone knows the
Wasn't
shit.
this the year that Biggie's album came out?
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was kind of all over the map. Never really exposed to country. Haven't gotten into it, but I don't think I have a favorite record. I don't think I have a favorite record. I mean, I have favorite bands, but not really favorite records. Because at that point in time, I was 14 years old, dude. Like, I wasn't going to the mall to buy records. I was...
Without looking at the internet...
Not looking.
Without looking at the internet, I'm going to go out and say that my favorite record of 1995 is The Bends by Radiohead.
Of course you would say that.
I don't. Maybe there's something that came out that year that I think is, better.
Bush.
No, that came out in 1994. 16 Stone, 94.
Yeah, this is where I don't believe anything John says because he's got everything memorized in his head at all times. Oh, maybe it was it was 1995. You know it was 94.
Was 16 Stone 95? Look it up on your computer.
You said without the internet. You literally started this without the internet.
I was saying that without me looking up on the internet.
Okay.
I was going to say that my favorite record of 95 is The Bends.
You know what else I forgot to mention? Did you know that Debbie, is it Mazar?
Mazar, yeah.
Do you know she was dating Paul Rubin?
R.I.P.
Fucking Pee-wee?
Uh-huh.
No shit.
93 to 99.
Well, he's a brilliant man. Groundlings, old school, a Chicago guy. We love him on
16
this
Stone
podcast.
was 1994.
Like I said. God damn it. That's great. Okay, so we have
Pee-wee on set.
Pee-wee's actually here. Hold on a second. Hey, Pee-wee, come on in.
Paul, thank you for joining us.
No, I only call him Pee-wee. We do this all the time.
Shout out to Paul Rubin. Please join our next podcast.
That's my Pee-wee, by the way.
Did you also know that 1995 was a big year for a lot of things?
Tell me.
Okay, so number 1, O.J. Simpson not guilty.
Man, you hear the pregnant pause on that? I was just like, oh shit, he's not guilty?
That's going on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, no, it's staying in there.
Connie Chung was fired from CBS News.
For being pregnant, right?
Yes, no. Supposedly her ratings were in decline, but she disagreed. Joe Montana retired from football while Michael Jordan unretired.
He retired from football from who? The Kansas City
Chiefs.
We suffered a bad loss over here yesterday. Kansas City. I don't know when this is going to come out, but so hopefully that's not relevant later. But
hey, man, it was a tough game.
Shout out to future guest Joe Montana and Joe Montana.
Yes.
From the movie Thinner.
Yes, absolutely love that guy.
And Leslie forget him in Airheads. Loved him there. What else happened in 95, Kathy?
Well, the World Trade Organization was founded and launched.
WTO.
WTO definitely happened. The FDA approved the first chickenpox vaccine.
Is that true?
You probably haven't even had it.
No, because I had chickenpox.
Well, you better get it, otherwise you're going to get shingles when you're older, and apparently that's really bad.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So wait a second. So your kids don't. So they've already had that shit. So like they don't have to have chickenpox.
Correct.
I didn't even think about that.
Yes, that no longer exists in childhood.
We don't do chickenpox parties anymore.
No, we don't. We don't. Although I have vivid memories of my dad putting oven mitts on my hands and taping them in my wrists.
Oh yeah,
and then my brother and I finding creative ways to like go scratch each other.
Yeah. It's you got to figure it out. Fucking shit's awful.
Oh my gosh. The Unabomber's manifesto was released in '95.
Classic Unabomber.
35,000 pages. Have you read it?
No.
Why not?
I'm really busy doing this podcast.
What do we have on the agenda for the next podcast? What did we decide?
Future guest Bill Clinton will be here next week to talk about whitewater.
Rafting or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all blurred to me at this point. Oh, the other cool fact was that Angelina Jolie almost played Deb.
Really?
Yep.
That's...
Then maybe she would have fallen in love with Ethan Embry instead of the guy from Hackers, and it would have been a whole different future for all of us.
Johnny... What's his
#
name?
Brangelina forever.
Okay. That's a different podcast, too.
Oh, we also didn't talk about Rex Manning Day.
And we're not gonna. Like people legit, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, because people legitimately are like, "Fuck yeah, man, it's Rex Manning Day!" like, God damn it, this
Which is
movie's
April 8th.
bad.
It's on their calendars.
This movie's bad.
So what are you
just
celebrating? I don't get it. What are they celebrating?
They love this movie.
So they just like
Rex.
go home and watch the movie, or
I don't know. They I don't know.
that is not a ladies and gentlemen. I think we're trash.
Do you have do you have anything to plug? But before we sign off here on this podcast, because we're at 29 minutes.
Oh my God, we're at 29 minutes. I apologize, folks and followers. Yes. If you are local to Kansas City or the Wichita, Springfield,
or not,
Overland Park area, please visit your local brewery, City Barrel, at citybarrelkc.com.
Well, Katie, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on this podcast. It's been a lovely treat, and I hope to have you on again in future endeavors.
Thank you for having me, John. It's a pleasure as always.
I love your Rex Manning t-shirt.
Thank you.
And
it's one of those spray-ons where he's not wearing a shirt. Got in Florida.
And we're signing off here on Tharp and 30, and we'll see you next time.